My name is Andy Varley. I'm the founder and CEO of Insanity, based in Soho in the West End of London and in Los Angeles. We are a global entertainment company and recently launched our record label joint venture with Sony Music UK. I strongly believe that to be successful in life, you must persevere.
So this is the lineup of the Brit Awards 2017. It's ridiculous. You had Alice Levine hosting for ITV2, Craig David nominated Best Male, Goldilocks hosting for River Island, Joe Wiley hosting for BBC Radio 2, Breathe, Maya Jama, official Brits Facebook Live presenter, Roman Kemp hosting for Capital FM, Shy FX DJing Sony's After Party, and Vic Hope hosting for 4Music. What? You basically owned the Brit Awards. These are all your clients. I mean, how did that make you feel?
I mean, it was a hugely proud moment. I think it was one of those days when you wake up and you realise how hard everybody within the company had worked to get the best looks for their clients.
Is all publicity good publicity?
Absolutely.
Can you be famous for absolutely nothing?
You can.
Do celebrities sign away their right to privacy?
To a certain extent.
Is social media screwing up the world?
No.
Do you think that money can buy happiness?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think I've seen people that have earned enormous amounts of money but have been deeply unhappy. Money doesn't buy you happiness. It buys you the ability to probably have more opportunities than those that don't. But for me, money's not a motivator. The grounding that my parents gave me from such a young age and watching them work for every penny that we had. When I do have kids, that's going to be super important, making sure they understand the value of money and that they work hard for it.
Is it true you started Insanity when you were 17 in your bedroom?
Okay, so technically Insanity in its current form started age 17 in my bedroom, but Insanity in its previous phase, which was a computer software company, actually started when I was 12 years old. I remember being on a holiday, my brother and my older cousin, my brother's 3 years older than me, so he would have been 15, 16 at the time. My brother and my older cousin were talking about the fact that they wanted to start a computer software company together. You could legally copy what was called public domain software, PD software. And the idea was that you could copy them, you got more games, it built up your own collection, and you could make some money out of it. My brother and my cousin had this idea of setting up this company, and they decided to call it Insanity PD. Anyway, maybe 6 months or so went by, and my brother and my cousin were obviously busy with their schoolwork, and the company didn't come off the ground.
Because you're 12?
Because we were very young.
How do you know how to set up a business at that age?
There was just this kind of line of entrepreneurs that kind of were in our family, I guess. So I suppose, is it in our blood? I was forever coming up with ideas of what I could do to make some money and to be involved in, I don't know, providing some sort of a customer service. I guess it started by a friend of mine at school or friends of mine from school being in a band together. They entered the Battle of the Bands competition. I came up with this kind of what I thought was an ingenious idea for them to, for me to throw a Battle of the Bands competition and for them to win it. So I did that, and I guess the date that I say the company started is the 27th of November 1997. People often say to me, God, the company's been going for 20 years now, like how have you managed to sustain that? And I think really it's about constant reinvestment, it's about believing in your product or your service, and it's about natural growth. The Battle of the Bands competition then led to a bunch of the bands that had entered asking me if I might be able to get them some more gigs. That resulted in essentially what is an agency starting. I was trying to figure out a way of making this agency automated. So I worked with my brother who designed this great website, which was insanitygroup.com, the website that we still use to this day. And insanitygroup.com became almost like an online forum for bands to be able to upload their music to upload a photo, to upload their biog, and then for promoters to go onto the website and to be able to book that band at a click of a button.
At what point did you know you'd made it?
To be honest, I don't feel like I have. I think from my perspective, it's always about this continuous improvement of what you're doing. We want our clients to achieve more, whether it's a TV presenter, a radio broadcaster, a musician, an athlete on our sport roster. We're constantly wanting our clients to achieve greatness, and I think with that comes a self-inflicted desire to achieve bigger and better things. I will feel like I've made it probably at the point that I retire. The day that I stop learning will probably be the day that I kind of chuck it all in.
What are the 3 ingredients that go into success?
You have to be honest, determined, ambitious.
What's the greatest lesson you've ever learned?
Work hard and be nice to people. I think that's really, really important, because you constantly need to be motivating your team. And in order to motivate a team, I don't really believe in a sort of dictatorship of a working environment. We always ask ourselves 2 key questions when we're considering taking on a client. Number 1, do we like them? Really important. And number 2, do we think we can make a difference to their career? And if the answer to both of those questions is yes, then generally we'll take that client on.
Good to know you had that conversation about me at some point. Do you know what? That's funny, because when I was researching you, I found something you said in a Media Week article that was, you don't have to be a wanker to be in the music industry.
There's this kind of belief, I guess, that if you work within talent management or within the music industry or within television, whatever it might be, that you do have to be a bit of an idiot to kind of get your own way. You have to throw your weight around. You have to treat people disrespectfully.
Well, do you worry about your clients? Because, you know, there are so many cases of people crumbling under the pressures of fame.
Your role as a manager to a client doesn't stop at negotiating a deal, but also does fall into their personal life as well. I guess one of our very, very early clients on our broadcast roster was Peaches Geldof, who we signed when she was 15 years old, and we managed her all the way through to when she unfortunately passed away. And that was a huge, huge experience for us to have to deal with. The press fallout, the family, the sadness that we all felt that she wasn't around anymore. And I think it was at that time that you do realise, God, we're responsible for managing these clients' careers, but also we have a real duty of care towards the managers within the company that manage the clients, because quite often they might be embroiled in anything from a relationship breakup to something as tragic as Peaches passing away. It is a pretty fickle industry in the sense that you've always got to watch your back and watch the backs of those people that you work alongside. It's a pretty crazy business. No 2 days are the same. Somebody once told me that out of chaos comes creativity.
Yep.
And I think that is something that I preach on a daily basis. I love nothing more than getting late night calls from Kirsty and the team in LA saying that there's a shitstorm that's happening and we need to kind of figure out a way of putting it right. Or if you wake up first thing in the morning and there's a press story that's run on one of your clients you then have to deal with. I look at this business as being very cyclical. You might start the day with some amazing piece of news, but then by lunchtime, maybe your client hasn't got onto a radio playlist and you feel deeply pissed off with your job.
So you've just merged with Sony. Do you have a record here that you're most proud of?
I'd probably say this one here. So I'll take this off the wall for a minute. So this is a disc that I received for DJ Fresh's album Next Levelism. Dan Fresh kind of came to me around 70 years ago, actually. He was running a record label and felt like all of his time and his attention was being taken away from being an artist and a producer because he was busy running a business, something that I can definitely relate to. So we started to work together. He definitely put some trust in me to guide him within that career. And I guess kind of 7 years later, he's sold probably in excess of 3 million records globally. This was the #1 single awards that we got on the 16th of July 2011 when his single Louder, which also featured in a big kind of Lucozade campaign.
I worked on that campaign.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. If there's one thing you could tell your younger self, what would it be?
Probably just to persevere, really. I think by persevering, believing in the service that you offer, believing in the clients that you represent, and believe in your ability to guide and manage those clients, can hopefully only lead to good things.
What's your biggest worry?
My biggest worry, I guess, is that it's all going to finish.
What about the work-life balance? Has that ever been a struggle for you?
Yes, I am a workaholic. Yes, I am a little bit OCD, and I don't really like to go to bed with any business being unfinished. But over the last 2 years especially, I was going through a period where I was traveling a hell of a lot. I was in the US continuously, and I was literally never at home. And I kind of thought to myself, if this all finished tomorrow, if I don't have a family unit to go home to, then I'm kind of, what have I got, basically? It's great to be doing exciting stuff, but if you haven't got somebody to share it with, then what's the point?
Yeah. And what is your vision personally and professionally over the next 5 years?
I remember actually, I did an article when I was 12 years old for the Telegraph on being a young entrepreneur. And one of the quotes within that article, which was hugely embarrassing at the time, was they kind of asked me, what do you want to do when you grow up, basically? And I remember saying, I just want to do well in life, perhaps have a wife and kids. So I think I've kind of...
You're halfway there.
Yeah, with the company, I've got kind of ambitions of opening further offices globally. I really sort of pride myself in having this belief that my team need to be where they think they need to be able to do the job that they have to do.
Have you ever failed?
Oh God, I've failed many, many times. Mistakes that I've made that have maybe resulted in opportunities not being explored to the best of their ability. Mistakes that I've made maybe in terms of the way I've handled a situation that may have led to someone being unhappy. But my grandfather told me once that a mistake's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. I'm really fortunate that I have a company that I love, people within the company that are some of my closest friends as well as colleagues. I love waking up every day and coming to work. I know that I'm fortunate and that many people wake up in the morning dreading kind of getting that bus or the tube or the train or the drive into work, but I wake up every morning super early and I am so excited to come to work and to see what happens during the day.